Hi, my name is Scott Marker, and this is another episode of Treasure Valley NIA Quick Tips. How this came to be is I'm the franchise owner of a network and action franchise for over 7 years, and I run three groups of local business professionals and owners here in the Treasure Valley. We get together once a month and brainstorm, do some brainstorming, of course, referrals, and try to help grow our businesses. And through that, I meet just so many people that are experts in their field. And it's like anything, unless you're in the industry, you don't know what you don't know, So I love bringing people on like today, that are, experts in their field when it comes to all things gutter. So Madison, introduce yourself.
Hey there. Yes, my name is Madison Crigler. I'm the owner of Rain Gutter Solutions based out of Eagle, Idaho. We are a full service rain gutter company. What that means is we do installations of both gutters and covers. We do cleanings and we do repairs all over the Treasure Valley and
Oh,
a little bit farther even.
wow. Yeah, that was one of my questions to ask you. So how big is your area you go?
Our service area.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll go as far north as New Meadows.
Okay,
So kind of the New Meadows McCall area.
okay,
And then we will go as far east as Twin Falls, and we
okay,
will go as far west as the border of Oregon and Idaho. We are not licensed in Oregon,
okay,
unfortunately, so we do not work out there.
okay. Well, cool. So this is always the thing is the origin story, and I know yours, but it's a great one. It's like I mean, who would it, gutters? How did you get into the gutter business?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, it was just kind of a natural progression for me. So I'm a lifelong entrepreneur, and I started knocking doors when I was 15, cleaning gutters door to door. And so it was a pretty natural progression to start installing gutters when I turned 18, and
Wow.
then just been running with it ever since, with some small breaks here and there.
Yeah, yeah. I love that story because you're like, you're 15 years old and the homeowner's going, "Well, do you have insurance?" Hey, I'm 15 and I'm going to
Yeah,
clean it.
that's how it would
And,
go. I mean,
and
we don't get me wrong, like we would cherry pick jobs, we were
yeah,
only knocking first stories and stuff like
yeah,
that. But
yeah.
yeah, we'd knock on the door and we go, "Hey, we're cleaning gutters for $30. Do you want it done?" And they go, "Are you insured?" And we go, "Are you kidding me?" The question is, are you insured? Look at us.
I love that.
It's
Yeah.
it's $30.
Yeah, yeah. It's a different time,
Yeah.
it's different time now, but that's just because like I said, I was an entrepreneur and I didn't even know it. From the time I could push a lawnmower until
Yeah.
all the way through college, my girlfriend, now my wife, she used to help me bag and stuff. But I was doing 12 lawns a week,
Heck yeah.
going to college, and I didn't look at that as entrepreneurship because I just thought it's just what I do for extra cash. But looking
Right.
back, man, I was a machine because I actually had to stop. And again, back then we didn't have insurance or none of that type of stuff.
Right.
It was like, yeah. So, but nowadays you have to and stuff. But anyway, great
Oh
story.
yeah, of
I
course, of
love the
course.
knocking on the doors. Are you
It is
kidding me?
interesting though when you look back at your life as an entrepreneur and you see those moments where you didn't realize that's what you were doing and
Yeah.
at the time, but you look back and you're like, "Whoa, I was an animal."
Yeah. No, I mean, no, seriously, because I'm thinking about it. Is that I could have sold. I gave that away, and then I didn't find out till years later, where one of my longtime customers bumped to me and said the other guy just was terrible,
Oh,
and,
really?
yeah, it was kind of a
Unfortunate.
friend of the family, and so they said but nowadays, I mean, even back then, I should have said, hey, I'm making this much money, I'll sell it to you. You know what I mean?
Right, right, for
And again,
sure.
but because my parents were both W-2 people, I never I never really thought about that I was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because again, I had a trailer my dad gave me and a lawnmower, and I sharpened the every week sharpened the thing. And again, I had a route, and if you added wanted your lawn mowed and you're off my route, it's going to cost you more money. I tell you that because
Yeah.
it's including, anyway. So, and I just got to the point where I couldn't take anymore because I mean, people would come over and say, "We don't want how much to mow my lawn." I tell them, especially if it's on my route, I tell them, and they get a better deal. But then pretty soon, anyway,
Right.
yeah. But yeah,
Yes.
it's weird. You don't know you're an entrepreneur when you are one. But yeah.
Right.
Hey, so at the networking meetings, you always have a slogan which I love. So
Yes.
how do you come up with it? What is it and how do you come up
So,
with it?
okay, so rain gutter solutions where we take your homes from drip drop to tip top. That's what
Okay.
we do.
Yeah.
So the whole name and slogan is kind of centered around this idea of trying to showcase like, hey, we're here to solve your problem. We're not just here to give you the runaround or sell you something you don't need. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the idea behind the name Rain Gutter Solutions. We're going to offer you a solution where we're not going to put a bid on it. And then two, from drip drop to tip top. Um, there honestly it stemmed from corner repairs. So the way we do corner repairs is pretty meticulous. There's a lot of companies that'll go in, and what's going on with a corner repair typically is the sealant is gone bad and it's
Okay.
cracked. And so what a lot of other companies will do is they'll find the crack in the sealant and they'll just put some new stuff in that crack. And that's not the right way to solve it, in our opinion. It's not a lasting solution.
Right.
And typically people have, like, we've heard horror stories where people are dealing with drip drop for years because they've had three, four, or
Oh.
five companies out there who have all put the same band-aid on there and never solved the problem, right? And it's just drip drop, drip drop, drip drop right in front of their front
Oh.
door, and so um that's kind of where the idea stemmed from. When we do corner repairs, we have to do a cleaning. We get the gutters dang near spotless. And then we go in there and we grind the old sealant out with a wire brush. And again, get them dang near spotless. And then we seal it back up with a tripolymer sealant. Um, and so that's where the slogan stemmed from, was doing
Right.
stuff right the first time,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it because it's
Like,
kind of catchy and everyone says it in the network community. So I always like that. And the one thing that I don't think people understand very much when it comes to your gutters is that over the years, and this has been years and years ago, but still, I've heard that people's like their front sidewalks caved in and all this stuff. And a lot of times, it's coming from the fact that they didn't do anything about where their gutters were either from there or just the way they let them run forever, just off to the
yeah.
side of the driveway or something. And then over years and years and years, it just erodes. So I'm sure you've seen that before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So gutters aren't they're not a building requirement here in Idaho.
Oh,
To pass code, you just got to have it what we call FHA gutters, which is anything over doorways and concrete. And that's the
oh,
bare minimum. And so that's what you'll see on a lot of these production homes where they're throwing up neighborhoods in a couple months, the where they're skimping on the gutters because they're trying to save the money where they can.
yeah,
What people aren't realizing is the water runoff is gonna erode the area around your house. I mean, if nothing else, you're gonna end up with a trench carved around your house where that water's been hitting. But then
yeah,
if there's, God forbid, there's stuff it could hurt, if there's like a flower bed area and then a sidewalk off the edge of there, people don't realize how much that it's going to erode the ground around it, and yes, could potentially lead to caving sidewalks and whatnot down the road. One of the bigger things that we've noticed though is just the splashing from the runoff is often enough to rot out those bottom three rows of siding,
oh,
and that gets expensive fast,
oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
like, but yeah, even on brand new homes, like, what I mean, if you're watching this and you have a brand new home, walk outside and see if you can see dirt splashed up on the side of your house from, if you don't have grass yet, and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. That's where the water's been hitting it.
Oh. Yeah, see, and again, this is why I like bringing people like you on because, like anything, people think, whatever, just gutters, you know.
Right.
But it's like, um, there's, I actually heard from another company years ago that I never knew about this, but they were talking about gutters and stuff and the way that you hang them. And most people
Yeah.
that don't know what they're doing hang them perfectly straight.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah,
So
we
what?
see
What?
that a
what
lot.
yeah. So what? What? So what? Explain that to people. Like what?
Yeah,
Why?
so
Like do it yourself first. Go. Oh, I'll just do my own gutters. Or you have a company that just decides to be a gutter company one day and just they put them exactly even. And so what's the right way to do things?
So slope is everything when it comes to
Okay.
gutter. And unfortunately, dude, I'll go to brand new houses that have gutter going backwards. And it's
Oh,
like we actually I just quoted a job that we we're doing next week where it's a brand new home and or about a year old and the gutters are going backwards. So we
wow. So
gotta
what's that do?
so that's not sending the water to the downspout. So what we got to do
Okay.
there is
Oh, it
reslope
just
them.
piles the water up and then runs over
Yeah,
the.
it sends the
Oh,
water the wrong way, and so
okay.
it can come over the front, or if it backs up and goes behind the drip, it can the drip edge. It can eventually cause uh, big issues down the
Yeah.
road. If
Yeah.
the gutters are going the right way, everything's going to the downspout, everything's exiting where it should be, and getting away from the house. The
Okay.
whole that's the whole gambit is getting the water away from the house, right? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, if from a DIY perspective, if you got some gutters that need to be resloped, hop up on a ladder, grab your drill, and you can pull those screws out, and then really all you need to do is shove up on the gutter. If it won't go anymore, that's kind of when you want to get a gutter guy involved because
Okay.
we might need to trim up some stuff on the drip edge, and then you're not messing with your roof, but you're getting close to messing with your roof at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And that's definitely if you're gonna try doing something that's substantial, that's where we would recommend calling the pros. If
Okay.
you're just trying to get two hangers to shove it up a little bit out, I think a homeowner can handle it.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I heard that years ago, and I always thought I wouldn't have known any difference. And again, because you're talking to someone that knows what they're doing, going, no, they're not. You don't want it because exactly what you said. They're supposed to be sloped so they go down to and drain. And that's another thing is one thing I like about the house I'm in, which was like a 5-year-old house when I first moved in, was I love the chains that went come down, and that's where at
Ooh.
the I know. And the other day you said, "No, tell me." So why is they're really cool looking, but why is that not the best option?
Everybody loves the chains. Everybody loves the look of the chains,
Yeah.
except me.
I love it.
You No, they look great. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But functionally, a downspout is always superior.
Okay.
There's a couple of reasons for that. One, I'm sure you've seen that funnel that gets attached to the
Yep.
chain.
Yep.
Th
Which
that
yeah, I don't yeah, I do, but that one again, it's like I don't know anything, so I'm like, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, so there's a funnel that gets attached to the chain, and it's a decorative piece to cover up the sleeve and any
Okay.
dangling chain. That itself necks it down to like a 1 inch hole from a 2 3/8 inch hole.
Right.
And so right there, you're over half the size of the hole. On top of that, in order to hang those chains correctly, you say you got your links, if you can imagine, and you're holding it like this. You put your spike through here, and then you need to let two links or so go back into that funnel and hang down below it. And what that does is it helps keep the water tight to the chain. And if you don't do that, you end up getting a fan coming out of that funnel
Okay.
of water.
Okay.
Um, but the problem with that is you're literally plugging up the hole with chain, and like that's,
When
it's
yeah.
gonna work until it's plugged, and it only
Yeah.
takes two leaves to plug it up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the downside. So if
Oh, see now
somebody
now okay, now I get it. Now okay, now that makes total because at first I'm kind of going, well, I don't think but I was thinking, well, it has to rain really hard, but you're right. A couple leaves get in there and you're screwed.
couple leaves, that's all it takes. So
Yeah.
it takes a lot more than just a couple leaves to plug up a downspout.
Yeah. So now you talk about that. You have these gutter covers, and I get relentless door knocker things. They're not door, but door hangers. They're in my thing and stuff like this. So what you've been in this industry a long time. So
Yeah.
what what do you see that doesn't work? And what do you see that does work?
So I have a lot of opinions on covers.
Okay.
There are hundreds of products out there on the
Okay.
market. Half of them don't even work. The other half don't last long. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so we have spent a really long time curating the right cover for our area.
Okay.
Um, I'm sure you've seen the covers. There's 100 different brands out there, but essentially it's a tightly woven mesh. It's
Yeah.
like a metal mesh. that stuff isn't as awesome as they say it is. So
Yeah.
we end up actually removing a lot of that stuff because what happens is the roof grit ends up plugging up the mesh. And so it keeps
Oh,
everything out, even the water.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we get calls about why is the water coming over the front? Well, your mesh is plugged up. And they say even like even the most reputable of those mesh companies say you still have to maintain them. It's just that's I'm not interested in selling a cover that you have to maintain. That defeats the
No,
purpose of
no, you're exactly right because they say they make the
like
advertisement. You don't want to get up on that ladder, right? So
right,
do the and they make it at least the way I understand the commercials. They make it like, hey, never get on a ladder again. Well, as you're
right.
saying, that's not quite true.
Yeah, not exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say maybe if you're brushing it off with a extendo pole from the ground, it
Yeah.
might be,
Yeah. So what do you recommend?
So we use a product called Alurex. It's
Okay.
the only cover we use. It's the only cover I have seen with my own two eyes make it to the end of its warranty. It
Oh,
actually was under a different brand and then they got bought out by Alurex, but it's still the same
okay.
product, same
Okay.
design, same cover, everything. But I've seen that stuff 25 years old.
Oh,
That old
wow.
stuff still working. So that's I know it works. I know it's a great
Right.
product and it's about allowing myself to be able to sleep at night,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
like,
yeah, yeah. No, I know.
so,
Sell them
so
something that is going to work and last.
yeah, exactly. So we have two different styles of our Alurex cover that we carry. One is the gutter clean model that is made for existing gutters.
Okay.
And so we can put them right on top of the gutters that are on your house. But the T-Rex model is made for new construction gutters, brand new gutters. And this
Okay.
stuff's really cool because it actually clips into the gutter and then clips into the back, and then we lock it in back with our button locks, but it replaces the hanger and it acts as one continuous hanger throughout the
Oh.
entire system. And so on a house where the fascia might not exactly be perfectly straight, it looks so good. It is so much better. And it just keeps everything straight and then it strengthens the heck out of the gutter system.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. Like I said, yeah, I want to know that because it's like I get relentless advertisements for it, and so
Nice.
it's like
So
it's like,
ours come with a 25-year clog-free gutters warranty.
oh wow,
And they are mostly maintenance free.
okay,
Nine times out of 10, the wind will get whatever's on the tops of them. If you
okay,
do get a heavy buildup of debris, you might need to hit them with the blower once or twice. But
okay,
it's not so fine to where you got to sit there with a hose and try to
yeah,
spray it out. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so, but I mean, in the all the years I've been installing these covers, I have had like one or two clients tell me they had to knock something off the top of them.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's good. You're always gonna have some exceptions in the rules. So um, so you do residentials, right?
Yep.
And which is maintenance, replacement, brand
Yeah.
new. Now, what about on the commercial side of things?
It's mostly new gutter.
Okay.
It's pretty much exclusively new gutter on the commercial side
Okay.
of things. We do offer 6-inch gutters, which are a larger gutter for commercial projects,
Okay.
for larger like warehouse style buildings or a monster house if you got one. We have done a couple houses that needed it, you know.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, that's generally what we end up putting on commercial projects. In terms of like production, though, it's mostly 5-inch K style for like new houses and stuff.
Cool. So there's like a bunch of gutter companies everywhere and stuff like that. So what I mean, what are a couple of things that stand out about your company and you?
Well, to start, experience. I
Okay.
hate to say it, but it's one gutters seem to be one of those things that people just like to hop in and give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've met a lot of people who didn't have the experience I probably think they should have had, and they jumped in, and that we see that a lot around the valley,
Right.
you know. With that being said, there are plenty of reputable companies. And
Right.
so in terms of that group, how we kind of set ourselves apart from the other reputable companies is one, just our process, the way we go about dealing with clients. It's very smooth. If there's anything extra that needs to be done, I've got people for everything. If there's paint, if there's fascia, if there's roofing stuff, we we help connect those dots for the
Okay.
homeowner and make it very easy for them. On top of that, the responsiveness is something we really pride ourselves on. It's a company policy that if a warranty pops up, that's the first thing you're dealing with the next day for the installers.
Oh,
You don't,
wow.
so all of our guys, all of our installers, they get paid percentage. And what that
Okay.
does is it holds them accountable to their installs, right?
Okay.
So our guys, if they make a mistake, they have to go back and correct that mistake at their own cost, essentially, because they're getting paid that percentage of the job, right?
Right.
And
Right.
they're making good money on it. Don't
Right.
get me wrong there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but they but it keeps them accountable because they don't want to go back and waste their time fixing one
Yep.
stupid little
Yep.
leak from a drop of caulk they forgot to put on there, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's why they deal with their warranties the very next day before they go do another job because they're trying to hang as many feet as possible.
Yeah.
They want to make their money and earn their keep, right?
Yeah.
And so when they have that hiccup like that, it hurts a little more and prevents mistakes down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, and especially if you're newer or something, you're gonna, you know, do that once or twice and go, I need to slow down a little bit more to make sure
Right.
this is perfect and I don't,
It's
yeah.
worth the extra 10 minutes on site, so I don't have to
Yeah.
take an extra hour
Yeah,
later to
yeah,
go
and that's
back,
and any
right?
home service and or trades. That's always the toughest thing is having a callback. That's the
Right.
worst. That's why you got to make sure. So I love that. And then also I
And
love. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just saying, we hear that from homeowners is like, this guy won't call me back, or I can't get him back out
Yep.
here,
Yep.
or I've tried for months to get him to come handle this leak and they
Yep.
won't fix it. And it's like, that is the opposite of what we are. We
Right.
will handle it as fast as possible before you
Right.
ever thought possible. Like,
I love it. So what it I think so do you have any like tips for like do-it-yourselfers that to keep their so they go to you, you put some on their house and stuff. So and again, they're gonna live, let's say they're gonna live in this house for 20 years. So
Okay.
what can they do anything themselves to kind of help maintain those?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So first and foremost is keeping them clean. That
Okay.
that stuff, if you can get on a ladder, you can do that by yourself all day
Right.
long. Be safe doing it, for the love of God.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
that doing regular gutter cleanings is so important, and people sleep on it because it's gross and they don't want to
Right.
do it. And I get
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
but that is keeping the debris out of there is the number one way to keep your system working right
Okay.
long term. Um, I have seen homeowners try to do corner and end cap repairs on their own, and I have some some advice there, we'll say.
Okay.
If you're doing a corner repair or you're trying to do your own corner or end cap repairs, number one, you need to get the gutters spotless. That's the key. If there's
Okay.
dirt and debris in there, the caulking's not going to bind, and the water's going to circumnavigate it every time. Uh, we go to a lot of homeowners' houses where they're like, "Oh, I sprayed Flex Seal in there and I can't get
Um,
it to stop." And it's like, and so don't do that. Please don't put Flex Seal in your gutters because I won't repair them after that.
yeah.
The reason being is, as I was explaining our gutter corner process, when we grind it out, the the Flex Seal doesn't grind; it just smears all over the place, and so I
Okay.
can't actually get it out. So
Okay.
if somebody puts Flex Seal in their gutters, we opt for a replacement because I can't guarantee I'm going to get that corner to stop leaking at that point.
Okay.
So if you're a homeowner trying to do your own corners, get you some wire brushes from Home Depot, grind out the old sealant, and then two, you need to find a tri-polymer sealant to reseal them with, not a silicone sealant. If
Okay.
you Google what to put in gutters, it says silicone. you want to try polymer. I suggest GeoCell. That's what we use. But if you can't find it, go find you a good tripolymer, not a silicone base. So
Right.
that is a very key distinction. Yeah.
Or you start to try to do that yourself. Then what do? You just give you a call and say, you know something,
Yeah.
Madison, could you come out here and do this? Because one, I don't want to have it be dangerous, and
Yeah.
this and that. Well, I mean, um, this was back when I first moved in the house. I had the trim painted, and so it's been so many years. I just anyway, and I didn't ask the guy if he had insurance or nothing, and he actually fell off my roof. Now he didn't get
Oh,
hurt. Yeah, my pitch of my house is steep, and anyway,
okay.
so and I was like, oh yo, yeah, I mean, anyway, but everything's okay. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
it's like
good.
huh? Yeah, no, I know it. But I mean, yeah, and then I years later, an insurance guy said, you have anybody in here? You make sure they have insurance.
Right.
When they come to your house because exactly that. Because I mean, getting up on a ladder, stuff can go wrong.
It's dangerous, man. And falls off a roof are usually really expensive
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're not light falls, you know?
yeah, yeah. Well, cool, man. Oh, this has been great. I mean, I love this. Is like I said, I just want to kind of give kind of people kind of a better understanding of gutter because I know a lot of people just like you said, there's just basics gutters you have to have in new homes. But I think this helps people understand. It helps me for sure better how important it is that you hire somebody like your company that knows what the heck they're doing to either fix them the right way, the good way, or if you put them in the first time the right way, or even like you said about your gutter guards, is that I mean ones that you put in and then they're going to go to the end of the warranty.
Yeah, it's still, as overlooked as the gutter system is, it's still a part of your home and you
Yeah.
still want it to work right, you know?
Yeah.
And with that being said, you shouldn't overlook your gutter system because you're dealing with water. And anytime
Yeah.
you're dealing with water, it can get out of hand fast if you do something wrong.
No, no, like I told you, it was more than once in past. I don't know who it was, homeowner or somebody I talked to. They said that their sidewalks or something was caving, and it was their gutters.
Mm.
Where and again, I can't remember why it's been so many years now, but I just remember they said somehow the water just been running and running, and it just caved in and then all of a sudden the sidewalk started caving in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
so I mean,
probably
again,
where
but that shows
somebody
you that,
dropped a downspout
huh?
in a bad spot, would
Yeah,
be my
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, man. I appreciate it. Hey, if someone want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way would be to give us a call or visit us online at our website. We have
Okay.
a very easy to use interactive website
Oh,
where you can get your estimate started and just let us know some info about your house and you, and then we'll get you on the schedule to come take a look at everything.
awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Madison. This has been great. This has been another episode of the Treasure Valley NA Quick Tips. Until next time, thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.